The Church teaches that the proclamation of the gospel is the high point of the liturgy of the Word. In fact, the proclamation of the gospel is so significant, the Church has a special book for those words, for the words of the gospel. The Word of Christ, the book of Gospels, is yet another symbol of Christ present to the Church. Because it is His own Word, the gospel is honored with candles. The gospel is honored with incense as if it were Christ Himself. This is why the book of Gospels is carried in procession either by the deacon, by the lector, or by another minister. The lectionary, on the other hand, is never carried in procession. The book of Gospels is so unique that it is laid on the altar, laid flat on the altar. The altar of Christ receives the Word of Christ. Some places have learned that the book of Gospels should be displayed on the altar. But let's be clear, there is no directive in the liturgy of the Church that says the Gospel book should be put on display. Rather, it simply says that the book of Gospels is placed on the altar. It receives the book of the Gospel the same way that the altar receives the host during the preparation of the gifts. The Church teaches that the function of the proclamation of the gospel is always the deacon's responsibility, that it is a ministerial responsibility and not a presidential role. This is why in the Catholic Mass, the deacon always proclaims the gospel. And if there is not a deacon, then one of the concelebrating priests. And it is only a last resort that has the priest celebrant proclaiming the gospel. The book of Gospels, the repository of the Word of Christ, is honored with incense and candles. Let us also reverence the book, receive the Word of Christ into our hearts, and grow in the likeness of Christ.